Boy GB's backstage.
Following contest is an
Muppet was my favourite Muppet. Okay, which one? There was like Seymour and Pepe. They were like a combination of two fat elephants and a king frog, and they just throw away jokes and no one laughs. Rhino! Gee, Pepe, I think they get it! Steve, I have to go one point that I can sit down and sheer promo where he makes a lot of sense.
It's really good. In my eyes, turned him babyface.
It's on the Go Home Impact, and it looks to be taped in a movie screening room.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So Bashir defends his position, saying, "I've been mistreated and ostracized since 9/11, based on the way I look and on the way I dress. It's been a long 7 years of frustration. Fair enough, okay. On the way, I love American working. I can't stand the people.
I love that. I just can't stand the general public."
He dodges, deflects, and twists him into words. And Bashir, before he starts shouting dirty garbage at the second, he says he lost his wife and family by 11.
Which is just a bold-faced lie.
That is, you can't say that.
No, where? Like, did he like go down the Long Island Tesco or something?
Hey,
Yeah. Did you like at the end? He's going like, "Aah!" He's like screaming foreigner at him, and then Mike turned around and goes, "Speak English." Unbelievable.
Airplane crashless entrance. Bashir is a person like a big job guy. At least he does a job or job. TNA shamelessly wheel out an American Army guy to do the ring announcing. Last month we had Sergeant Cassara introduce Free, this time Sergeant Oxley, local Florida vet. The opponent in this match hails from Detroit, Michigan. Cloud War Machine, Rhino! Rhino with an I is a poor choice for pro-America. He's a snarling beast, a smash mouth clubbing brawler. He doesn't have patriotic fervor, you know? Immediate no attention in his bout. All the crowd are looking left and not at the match in the ring. What is going on? Oh shit, ICP have shown up. We get a little chat from the crowd just in case you can tell. Who's that with them?
Holy.
Scott Hall. Oh my god, there are 5 people with JWOTs in the front row.
Yeah.
So we got Scott Hall, Wyland J in second seated, with Team Cup Tony and Corporal Robinson. Congrats! You successfully diverted attention away from the in-ring as you were constantly watching to see what Juggalos do and when they'll get involved. So Bashir goes to the outside and tells Hall to suck it! And he pushes your man on the right. Commentators allude to, but never specifically mention Paul by name, saying there's familiar faces in the crowd.
He finally showed up! That would have been a great one, wouldn't it?
What do you mean you're not into this match? Headlock, rest hold, Bashir fellas. Died. Back and forth, neither taking control. No Scott's busy work until the finish. What is the finish? Rhino's out into the crowd, signaling he's got to go for the gore. Keeper just fingers down in the corner, runs, kick to the face, and territories. Bashir gets in Sewell's face. Oh, as prediction means he eats a gore. Gore. 1, 2, 3, and Rhino wins. Here is the winner of Horror Scene, Rhino! In 9 minutes, is Rhino the X Division champion? No, it was just a grudge match. Rhino is not an X Division wrestler. He's a big one.
Sorry, did you notice Rhino didn't celebrate here, basically?
It was pissed.
It was the ICP.
Yeah, they never told him about it. He found out about it live. Interesting.
You can imagine him going backstage. These fuckers taking my heat, and then someone like, "You've never had the heat." No. Especially, right?
This is an unwinnable situation.
Yeah.
Everyone's attention is diverted away from you, so you just be busy walking out the door. That's it, I'm going out of here.
This is a television feud that had no business being on pay-per-view.
Rhino with his celebration is like, he doesn't celebrate good because he only got 26 seconds.
It's less than 10 or while ago.
When I saw this, I was like, wait, ICP had no influence on the outcome. He weren't mentioned by name. It was just a shoot. The Junior did prank pay-per-view. This is a work shoot. And it's single. It was a work shoot, as in TNA planned it, but didn't tell most of the roster. Rhino didn't know. He was furious.
Oh, don't work over the boys. That's never a good idea.
Yeah, ICP invading is probably trying to recapture the glory of Road Dogg and WWE.
And just do the, you know, they like, thank you very much.
Show up on the Wednesday. They weren't there. They shot that on the Saturday.
No way.
It's okay, I don't know.
Invading WWE's parking lot. Cookie Gate. Dumb shit. You know they don't want to wear it on their face. Then that's when they stepping on your house. They stretch up. Catch me out walking. Then I bang. Push you next to them. That's all I owe you. What you say? You know, without you. Dumb shit. You know they don't want to wear it on their. When you find out your barber. At the end,
My people are loyal.
she went back and recharged. Just
One thing about me, I'm not a chaser, but we try to keep it light. If I feel like it's a joke that's going to...
2004. Do you remember this Shane Douglas on the mic? A place with Tracy with cookies. WWE were in Universal Studios as well, filming a West Side Story style commercial for the 2005 Royal Rumble. TNA sent a few lads down to say hello. They filmed it and aired it on Impact, despite WWE saying we'll sue you for it. Because they blurred the faces.
Oh, you can't sue us because we don't have any money to give us. Joke's on you.
Hey, in there. Play that tape. Play Cookie Gate right now.
I love how he's already giggling it.
We're here at Universal Studios, home of TNA Wrestling, the epicenter of wrestling. We're here to welcome our good friends,
Tracy.
Tracy.
Actually, the best I've ever seen her.
Yeah.
We're here because word has it they're here to check out what a professional wrestling program looks like. So,
Wait, Vince around?
no, sir.
He's a friend of mine, man. He might not remember me. I made him a bunch of money. I just want to get some mahi-mahi, man. How you doing? That's too much toupee right there, bro. That is too much toupee.
Is that right, Ray?
We got you a balloon, homie. We come in peace, represent, you know. Hotel.
They have a great break.
I'm here to talk to Vince McMahon, and Vince, if you're here listening, please come on up and talk. I'd like to talk to you about a few things from the past.
But like you said, he is a stand-up guy, but sometimes he has to sit down to aim. But here we are.
That's
Okay,
quite good.
that's good.
Following
That's good.
contest
Come
is
in our
an
backyard and
uncensored
puke your mahi
fight.
mahi.
If you do, we'll take your food.
I wish he'd stop saying mahi
What
mahi.
is mahi mahi?
I think it's a
Making his
vegetable.
way to the ring.
Vegetable of the seafood.
Thank you for the saves.
There you go.
Yeah, you like that?
It's embarrassing.
It's kind of sad, isn't it? I think it would have been better if, when they saw them coming up, they all just went inside and like closed the door, and then you can hear it being locked,
The best thing of all is your Ryan Gillies just went up and stole their mahi mahi.
Free mahi mahi, if you will. Lauren is outside the TNA Originals locker room where Foley is trying to parlay for cooler heads and for lads to meet the Mafia halfway. Shelley dismisses Foley and says, just have a bit of crack, just a bit of grab ass.
Just joking around with a grab ass.
Okay. Machine guns are braggy healed, but the main takeaway here is that Lauren's mic is just for show. She's holding the mic up to Alex, but she can't hear him because there's a boom mic in the locker room, which is not beside anyone.
Okay. You're part owner now. You invested your money. You want to help us out? Why don't you take your dumpy ass back to your desk, push your pencil.
What the heck? Match number 4 is for the TNA Tag Team Championships. It's the Motor City Machine Guns versus Beer Money Incorporated, the champions. The Guns versus Beer Money, holy shit! I say that because in 2010, the Guns and Beer Money had a historic best of 5 series where these fired on all cylinders and everyone lost their shit. But this is not their first bout. This is actually their 4th time wrestling each other.
Wow.
The Guns won the first, June 24, 2018. Beer Money won the next 2. The Heels winning the tag championships at Hard Justice in August, and now match number 4 is for the titles. The rest of the matches were on Impact. This is the first time on pay-per-view. Tail of the tape, TNA branded as taglines. Very clever. TNA admits Morgan and Abyss are the number 1 contenders, so they should be getting a title shot sometime. But I can't complain, as this is the bout I'd rather see. Oh, when did the Monsters win it? The Go Home Impact.
I mean, look at this tag team division that we have here at TNA. Not to even think about Beer Money against the Guns for the titles here this Sunday at Turning Point.
How can you technically have Tanahashi on TV but not? Bury him in an 8-man Shaw's tag.
Hooray!
Tanahashi with Volador versus Abyss, Morgan versus Team 3D versus LAX. Tanahashi sells for homicide, eats a neck breaker. Tanahashi sells on the outside, hiding like a coward. Sling blade to Bully Ray, sling blade to D-Bob. Balls, eat a 3D, everybody bundled out, and Sneaky Abyss grabs the contract for the ring.
Ah, okay.
More Tanahashi updates.
We are just like covering every move he does.
When you think of multi-man tag team ladder matches, you think of the big epic WWE main event level matches that are legendary. TNA is like, I'll give you 4 minutes on a Thursday.
Sorry about your damn luck.
Beer! Still no Beer Money theme.
Yeah, they're just coming out to release theme still.
Well, with a... Sorry about your
Damn luck.
When do they get it? The first pay-per-view they have with it, we've got to wait until Hard Justice August next year.
Whoa!
But they do have the awesome Beer Money shirt.
Yeah, your favorites.
Yeah, do we all have this?
Yeah, I still
We have mine inside somewhere, actually, yeah. ICP are still here. Fuck off. You can ruin Martin Bashir's bout, but not Guns Beer Money. Like, make them leave. Alright, just get off the hard camera. You can still be around. I don't want to look at you. No. Ding ding ding! Saban shoulder blocks Storm, who scooches to the upper arms of Rude in the corner.
I love that gimmick so much. It's so great.
Because his head is very near his crotch, dangerously, a little closer than up, and the guns are like, and then it comes in. Crucifix pin isn't successful, so kick, double bird, and spinning back kick. I love how Stone Cold's middle finger is very angry, anti-authoritarian, and when it goes down, it's like,
It's like ratty.
yeah. Double spring pushes to the outside, and Shelly goes into the Inverted attack drop to Reed, face clothesline, knocking into the mat. Floating over Hope, wrenching his head up, so Shelly can free head of steam, missile drop kick. Storm walks in, double kick, double soul to the back of the knee down, simultaneous kicks. Smooth. Watching this, I just flipping my shit. So cool, so fast, so smooth. First person to say this, but Absolution wasn't my favorite tag team.
Really?
Just throwing it out there, you know?
Yeah, what do you think, Steve?
I'm genuinely shocked.
Don West is equally impressed, marveling at the rapid fire shots, like a machine gun. Today tells us, despite being 2007 TNA Tag Team of the Year, the Guns have never held the belts. I will be listening to the commentary, the music on the play, saying, expect a lot of class to play this offense. Didn't expect them to be so successful so quickly. So they're paying attention and they're giving you their thoughts on it as it happens. It's like a real bout, you know? The Guns wrestle a perfect match until Storm comes blindside tag in. He delivers a big lariato and in control. Rear Monk's version of the Guns offense is a big slam, then elbow drop, and elbow drop. Storm cuts off a hot tag to Saban and gives us a karate kid. Storm distracts the ref, so this is Saban's hot tag, and the 160-pound ref whistles him back out. We didn't hear the tag, he swear! Unbelievable! Shelly stops Reed with a big kick, escapes the cross with a back elbow, duck the punch, which hits Storm. Negotiate Rude into a front face-lock on the left. Storm in a like a rock bottom, you're in an position on the right, runs both down to the mat. One-man tag team offense. Oh my god. And finally gets a hot tag to Saban. Toward the heels. High-low kick. And an outside-in swing DDT. Storm is on the top turnbuckle. Throw Rude into his crotch. I wish I did. Fred Frankensteiner. And perfect Shelly frog splash. 1, 2, no! Bollocks, that was it, man. You should have got that. Shelly in a tray of whoa. Whoa! Rude goes to the top, which he would never normally do. Let's see one. The Tower of Doom! Saban's gonna suplex Rude as Storm wants to powerbomb Saban. Shelly hooks Storm's chest from upside down, and they all avalanche down. And the crowd flip out.
Big time tower suplex. Oh! Tell you what, though, brother, Rude got the front of it. He got the front of it. He's just throwing his back up, and all of them now went down.
Everything in this match is great. Like, I'm just listening to you call this, and I'm getting to literally watch this match for the second time in my brain, and it's still
What a compliment you just got there, would you?
I'll put that in the pocket.
You should do audio versions of wrestling pay-per-views.
Finish on the match. Kick, insecurity. Charles pesters Shelly to get out, so Beer Money's manager, Jacqueline, comes in for her spot.
no DQ.
Takes a scoop slam. Ref ushers her out. Beer spit by Storm. DWI drinking while investing, aka a double team neck drop powerbomb. 1, 2, 3, and after 17 minutes, Beer Money retain.
Another powerbomb, and the pin, and the 3 count.
Gee, what do you think?
I obviously don't like this match as much as you two clearly like this match. I really like this match. I don't love this match. Hello, Miss Dirty Look, Beer Money are a great tag team. They're slick, they were beautifully well together, they're great on the mic. I just don't get excited about them like I do with the guns. And I think I noticed it more in this match because I love the guns so much. As you may not have known. But I think Beer Money are so good, but I didn't turn on this match thinking this is going to be great. I turned on and going, yeah, the guns are going to run around and do some great, amazing stuff, and Beer Money are going to do what Beer Money do, and it's always good. But, yes, really good match, but I'm sure you have their opinions.
I know what you mean here, because the guns are incredible. Beer Money are very good here. Yes.
Okay. It's Monday as well, yeah.
But that's really geared down to
Where's the controller?
Also, I think they were better when they weren't heels. Certain times the fact that they have to get heat takes away from the pops that they can get from like doing cooler moves and better spots. Which actually brings me to this match. So Beer Money are heels. The guns are heels. This is a heel match. But I'm sure it's just going to be full of the guns doing incredible spots that are going to make me pop. And I'm going to want them to win. And so that may actually hurt my viewing of the match. Because I'm not supposed to want them to win. Because I'm supposed to want them to lose. But I'm also not supposed to want Beer Money to win. Because they're also heels. But like, fuck it. Who cares? The match was awesome. Sabin and Shelly are incredible. They're so slick. They're so smooth. I don't know if you know.
What is it?
You know, they're probably my favorite tag team.
Why have you never said this before? I've known you for, I don't know, what is it, 20 years?
Yeah, I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, it was fucking great. Like, just, there's so many moves to mark out to it, and I loved it, and I would love to see more.
If he wanted Beer Money to get better kind of heel heat, he should have just done a headlock and just go. There you go. And it's a halfway point of the show. Because the second half is like a main event Matthew. It's gonna be great. So let's take it to the.
So if he doesn't have a notes, he always has that written down.
You need the Dexter Jetster. Boss Nass, episode 1, he's a leader of the Brokers.
Yeah, that Dexter doesn't do that.
No, he doesn't. It's a Camino Saber.
Zero sugar and zero calories. I don't worry about a crash. And the powerful, great tasting energy gives me what I need to help me make an impact.
Oh my god.
Stacker 2, 6-hour power extreme energy shot. Energy with an edge.
And we're back. Match number 5 is a Legends Championship bout. The instant classic, Christian Cage versus Booker T, the champion. King of the Jungle, Booker T intervened, brandishing his new Legends Championship, which symbolizes the respect, honor, and dignity. Respect, dignity, honor, dignity, and class of the main event mafia. Booker, however, is saving his voice tonight. Sharmell is on interview duty and says he represents Booker as the legend that he is. And tonight, Christian will be welcomed as a new member of the main event mafia. Because it's title for faction slot. Booker T's Legends Championship versus Christian joining the MMA.
Yes.
Nice. So the first level 4 mafia matchups. Where's the crown King Booker? Oh, there it is. Lovely new black robe too. Giant gold kind of epaulets. The ornamental shoulder beads. Amazing looking.
Booker T's character work during this time was out of this world. He was so entertaining, so fun, looks like a mega star, incredible presence. His accent, his like wife by his side looks amazing. Just the entire package, top class.
I think this is the best work outside of the ring he's ever done.
Yes.
Ever done. I don't necessarily agree with you that he's phoning it in more than either. I think he might not be peak Booker, but he's also well into his 40s at this stage, so, you know.
Honestly, might have been harsh in saying phoning it in, but he either didn't or wasn't capable of working to the level of the in-ring in TNA. I think
He did late 90s, early 2000s.
yeah.
Christian Cage makes this matchup. He owns the most impressive Cabela I've ever seen. Look at that face. It really is impressive.
Thank God Scott Hall and co. have gone. Who is in the crowd? Move over, rally towel guy. King Brother is in town.
Yeah, looking good. He's got it all going on.
It's great.
Rocking a crown, royal red cape, white TNA tee, and a black backpack.
Wasn't it nice? I mean, obviously it was never going to be ECW standard or crowd crazy shit, but there's so many characters in the crowd just having a great time. And it is shit that they don't go on the road and they're stuck in this building, but like, at least you get these regulars that come in and know their shit and enjoy it.
And they love it, and they want it to be good. Not like the kind of modern jaded smart who will sit there and be like,
Showing back up, and I love regulars, but if you go to a second show, bring a new sign. Because there's a guy with a main event mafia equals respect sign, and he just brings it to Impact afterwards.
That's just lazy. I mean, it's not expensive to make a new sign.
Book with an Arn Anderson spinebuster, but doesn't turn pivot and slam. He stops Christian mid-run and splats him back down in front of him. So it's kind of like the Rock spinebuster, but much better. It's all Booker T as he stomps on Cage on the outside, then a wheelbarrow launching him into the ring post. Christian tries an unprettier way too early in the bout. Rebuffed. A similar fate to trying a Texas cloverleaf. Can't even start to turn him before he's booked off. Superplex. Skycam catches Christian. He's a... Watching the reps count.
So kick out too. Well, the commentators covered by saying that the eyes were rolling in the back of his head. TNA commentary team were amazing at covering up little things like that. They were so good.
Booker may be getting ready for a little spinneroonie action. Well, he just feels that it would motivate.
Unearned spinneroonie. Oh, okay. Very odd. Because Christian was almost back to speed, so he had to go back down to his knee and let Booker do it. Christian motions to do one too, but Booker puts a stop to it. Successful Texas cloverleaf. But Booker T, he's such a hoss. Big tree trunk legs. Christian's able to apply perfectly. Well done.
Booker T got the in terms of
Body ratio.
the longest legs in the history of wrestling.
Do his legs go all the way up?
Okay, for a male. His legs go on forever.
His head.
Don't drink the water, like.
He's got a leg.
Sharmell on the apron. Booker almost wallops her. Christian tries the unprettier and is thwarted. Schoolboy, reversed. Hold the tights. And 1, 2, 3. Booker T wins it in 11 minutes.
Got it. I thought the match was good. I didn't think they did anything particularly memorable or amazing, but just good, solid pro wrestling. Decent heat by the fans. The finish was, like the heels didn't go over clean because they don't want to go over the baby faces, but it's like, this is the one time in a babyface's career that you can just beat Christian clean. It's fine. He's fucking leaving, But yeah, solid, grand.
I think we're agreeing, as the years go by, we're agreeing more and more. I thought the word that, solid, I mean, it's two very good wrestlers go out and have a very solid match. There's no real heat in this feud, it's a silly feud, so you're just going to have a good Impact main event match here, basically. It went exactly as expected. What can you say? Like, it was the most wrestling match I've ever seen.
It was a wrestling.
It was, and it was just good, solid. You know, you can't fault anything about this match.
I got 4 points for it. One is that I completely agree with you guys in that, besides your analysis there, but it's the match stipulation makes no sense and is stupid. You should have to earn your spot in a prestigious group. The year's storyline is built around this team, not as a punishment for it.
As a booby prize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should, like, if you were going to lose the match, you should have to bottle them for a month, you know. Make a roast, you know. Mow the lawn in your wife's Sunday dress. Do you know? Cork them. Please. Number 2, it was hard hitting, but unfortunately not a patch on last month. They couldn't really kick into kind of slick, free flow. They're both very talented. It was quite fumbly, you know, like Booker T tries for a full Nelson. Christian maybe an unprettier, but it's just awkward jostling. Ends up just, you know, pulling the back of Booker's head down to the mat. I would like to see them wrestle a few more times. Like if Christian was staying, like the blow-off match to have his freedom would be much better. 2 last things. Book, man, don't do the spin-a-rooney. You're a bad guy. That'll pop the crowd. But he's still smart. To win, Booker grabbed Christian's nappy. Of course he'd win. It's a weak spot.
If this was a game, Christian's nappy would be bright red and flashing. You know?
You shoot it.
Yeah.
He explodes.
Yeah.
Tonight, Abyss, your chance to get some revenge on Kurt Angle for what he did to you and your partner Matt Morgan a few weeks back on Impact.
Lauren gets an update from the Don't Watch Them On. Don't Watch Them. Abyss and Matt Morgan. Abyss says Lauren looks very pretty tonight, but his mind was on Kurt Angle. Because he requested a Falls Count Anywhere matchup, so there's nowhere for Angle to hide. He pauses a few times to apologise for shouting as he's smitten with Lauren. Will this budding romance be reciprocated? Stay tuned.
Is this the promo where he talks about puss for, 3-4 minutes?
My puss!
The finish, Matt says, because none of the mics work.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's way worse than normal.
Here, I'll level it so you can hear. Actually, I'll give you both. I'll give you TNA's and then the squeak.
That was like Morgan's best ever promo.
That's 6 words.
Tonight.
Matt, any comment?
That should be me out there tonight instead of Abyss. That should be me out there. That should be me out there tonight instead of Abyss. That should be me out there.
It's a Falls Count Anywhere matchup. It's Kurt Angle versus the Monster Abyss.
Storyline of the bout is this is busy work for Angle until he can face Jeff at Genesis. Since it's Jeff's company, Angle decided he's going to go on a tear until Jeff agrees, batter the locker room, which included almost breaking Matt Morgan's ankle, so Abyss ran in for the save. Now you've got me to deal with. I'm okay with it, but they've already wrestled.
Yeah, but nothing was that.
I know, but they shouldn't have wrestled at all. This would have been much more, the build-up of anticipation much better.
I agree.
Kurt immediately moves to the outside to win.
The WrestleMania 27.
They haven't looked at it. He immediately.
Okay, we'll come back to that because I have a point to make. The WrestleMania 27.
Just jump in whenever it is.
Yeah.
Manchester United immediately moves to the outside to reassess, slaps his face, trying to psych himself up for such an assault. What will be a physical matchup against a arch-rival wrestler.
If you're lost, go into your phone. Yes, you know what to do.
It's a lot of stuff I've been going through too, man. My mother just passed and stuff like that. I'm in a relationship that I think I'm about to be stable. My girl doesn't want me anymore. I know that because she keeps going through my phone. No girl is madly in love with you was going through your phone. It's like I keep sitting around going, I love this guy so much. He's the best guy ever. He's heaven sent. Oh, that's what in my life. Look at this one. Oh, he has the best dick ever. It's so great. He's just fucking my life up. I can't even walk after it. Let me look through his phone.
If your girl's going through your phone, you should know what you.
There's a lot of stuff I've been going through too, man. My mother just passed and stuff like that. I'm in a relationship, but I think I'm about to be safeless. My girl doesn't want me anymore. I know that because she keeps going through my phone.
You're right. I know I go. Semi-final King of the Ring 2002. Yeah. Well, I'm missing it. So that's just
Goldberg, WrestleMania 33.
Yeah, I don't think we mentioned. We've certainly mentioned it several times.
But we haven't talked about it.
Into the fucking groove.
Today's kids could never. But I'd love to hear from the lovely, wonderful fans.
And Abyss has all of his allies and the fans out here as well, Don. And he goes right up the steps, yanks Angle down, and goes right back to the offense. Look at these shots to the head.
Rolling in the bleachers. Shout out Kurt Selling when getting a blow to the head. He's like, "Ugh," and he crosses his eyes. Amazing.
You just see, like, fucking stars, around the top.
Oh, the bird.
The birdie.
Yeah.
Wide shot of the fans, and there's a guy with a towel.
Yeah, is it?
Not Rally Towel Guy. It's a different guy and a different towel.
Gimmick infringement, Len.
They walk all around the bleachers, but it's the impact zone, so it doesn't take long.
And I think that's a good point. If you're ever going to have a brawl to the outside, this is the venue to do it, because either they're going to be brawling beside you, or you're going to see them very closely. Normally, I don't enjoy brawls around the crowd, but it finally works somewhere.
Because it's so intimate.
Yeah.
The crowd do not let up. They're at fever pitch, losing their mind. It's even more impressive that this is booked the other way round. The heel smaller guy versus the babyface powerful giant. Chair shot by Kurt. And the cameraman catches Abyss doing a Bubba Ray hitch up the jumper.
Yeah, he does.
In glorious HD.
When you find out your barber do massages.
Kurt Angle's at the top of the stage, belts it towards Abyss, and does a freaking somersault crashing onto Abyss.
Executed perfectly.
Unbelievable.
And he's got Abyss. But look at this.
Oh my God! Unbelievable! Oh my God! Don West loses his mind. Iconic TNA spot.
First of all, beautiful form, landed perfectly. Abyss caught him. There was no danger. It was perfection.
Yeah.
Last month at Bound for Glory, we covered the famous Joe bump that we said is probably...
It's not your fault, Mom. You raised a really good kid. The world just fucked me up. It turned me into a cold-hearted piece.
If your girl starts going through your phone, you should know what you.
There's a lot of stuff I've been going through too, man. My mother just passed and stuff like that. I'm in a relationship, but I think I'm about to be single. My girl doesn't want me anymore. I know that because she keeps going through my phone. No girl is madly in love with you is going through your phone. It's like she's sitting around going, I love this guy so much. He's the best guy ever. He's heaven sent. Oh, that's what it in my life. Look at this phone. Oh, he has the best dick ever. It's so great. He's just fucking my life up. I can't even walk after it. Let me look at this phone.
If your girl starts
TNA's most famous spot. I think this is up there for one of their most famous
I
spots.
forgot all about it. I mean, I think Joe Bum, Elix Skipper on the cage.
Oh yeah.
But I don't remember this at all, but I'm glad I didn't remember it, because I loved watching it again.
When you were watching it, what was your reaction when you were watching it?
Holy fucking shit, what a nutter. And I'm so glad it was perfect.
And he's okay.
You know this man who's famously broken down. His body can barely go anymore. There was talks of him that backstage he was a physical wreck, like he couldn't tie his laces, could barely get changed into his gear, and then he walked through that curtain and he was the best the business has ever had. Every single time.
Kurt's gotta be thinking, what on earth do I gotta do? Chokeslam Kurt on the concrete? Whoa, whoa! This regroups near the
Don't you wish your girlfriend was wrong like me? Don't you wish your girlfriend was fun like me? Don't you? Got the feeling. Leave it alone. Cause if it ain't love, it just ain't enough to leave a happy home. Let's keep it friendly.
Oh, y'all, we can shop and then make it a double. It's like borrowing money. He get the speech before I hand him a couple. I'm Mr. Miyagi. I'm Mr. Miyagi. I taught these youngins how to kick it while they struggle, but they still kicking. And that drum spinning like Danielson in trouble, Daddy.
An Angle slam. The Abyss is way too fresh to be down. Angle grabs a chair and runs at Abyss. Punches the chair back into his face.
Awesome spot.
Right his fingers. Oh, he just punched the chair right back into the face of the Olympic gold medalist. Ah, I flipped out. The monster isn't afraid of pain and will gladly inflict some on himself if it meant more on his opponent.
That's what wrestling should be. You know when like people talk about, oh, he's going to the over, it's a high risk maneuver. It's like, that's not what you should be getting over, that it's risky. I think you should be getting over that this guy is willing to go through a bit of pain to put a lot of pain on the guy that he's wrestling.
Okay, very good.
You want to take a chance? My God!
Oh, but he's able to block. Oh, how about that shot? Whoa, whoa! Why is this? Throws Kurt into the chair. That's kind of propped up between two turnbuckles. Chokeslam. 1, 2. No! Oh, how was that not the finish? Abyss also finds out why Brett's rope is the most dangerous rope. Missing a splash. Whack with a chair. Angle
The following
moonsault
contest
onto the
is
chair.
an
Hits it.
unsanctioned
Abyss with a
right
tombstone.
out
No.
smash.
Abyss with a black hole slam. Yes. Can't topple the Olympic hero.
Making his way
Kurt
to the
White
ring.
tells it to Hector Romero. No, to the way. Just by the way, like Hector Romero, I can't look at him without saying this is what A would look like.
his opponent.
He's sort of the ringer form. It's uncanny, isn't it? He's even got the kind of holes. There was a shoulder shimmy in it. They work their way up to the scaffolding platform. Escapes the monster's grasp and forearm, big European uppercut, sends Abyss crashing down through the announce desk.
Turns him around and gets that uppercut and smashes Abyss right through the Spanish announce table.
Kurt scrambles down to pin. 1, 2, 3, and Kurt Angle is the winner.
2, got it.
The winner,
Brilliant match. The crowd were fucking mental, which helped the wrestlers fed the crowd. Commentators are fucking mental. Brawling around. The arena worked, but it didn't go on too long, and they had some nice spots to break up the, punchy, kicky stuff that you always see. They went back into the ring. That was nice. They didn't need to, but they did to give everyone a nice view of what's going on and just kind of reset almost. The
few too many false finishes. I mean, I know that's TNA during this era, but maybe have one, and that would have sufficed. I enjoyed the story of Angle doing whatever he could to beat Abyss, pulling out all the stops. Small nitpick. I would have preferred if he had more tried to mat wrestle him at the start of the match and then say, fuck it, this isn't working, I need to fight Abyss at his own game and use weapons and do whatever I can, because I'm not going to beat him this way, he's too powerful.
Terrible idea. I'm going to try to beat Abyss at his own game.
I know,
like
but...
I get you.
Sorry, yeah, okay.
Like, if he fails at working his game, do Abyss is, but holy shit, what a bad idea.
Yeah, to go straight to that. But, wow, incredible. You'll do well to find a better no-holds-barred match. And it doesn't outstay its welcome. It's just the perfect amount of time.
Wow. Top words from a top man.
Amazing.
What do you think?
Absolutely loved this match. Thought it was
shit.
For the type of match that they were trying to put on, I thought it was perfect. I don't think there's anything that I'd change about it. Kurt Angle at this point is the best wrestler in the world. Abyss was made to look like an absolute powerhouse monster. I love that they went to a part of the impact zone that you never see. That felt fresh also. And Abyss doing a match where he didn't have to rely on his crutch of tacks and glass and blood and weapons, and it was still brilliant. Yeah, as to me is like a perfect brawling wrestling match, and I absolutely loved it.
I guess we'll have to agree to agree. An exhilarating 17 minutes. I was worried that this wouldn't be good because they just wrestled on Impact, which was grand, but I feel a fool for doubting Abyss, who is a highly competent brawler, and Kurt Angle, perhaps the absolute best ever in the history of the sport. This was a main event pay-per-view headliner performance, a career highlight for both. Like, I don't think you could sell a pay-per-view around this feud, Kurt Angle versus Abyss. But my god, these guys over-delivered. Masterclass, lads. Thankfully, we get a little more time post-match. Kurt doesn't know where he is. Eyes are glazed over, but his hand is raised in victory. Our parting thought is that the Mafia are now 2-0.
And think of this, another victory for the main event Mafia. Lauren with Samoa Joe.
So yeah, that was an unexpected high. Let's take it down low. Way low. No, really, but we are shifting it off to Sourpuss Samoa Joe.
Sourpuss Samoa Joe. Joe was in the Originals locker room alone, apart from Lauren and the TV crew, obviously. And Joe calls Nash a petty bitch. He says Kevin stood next to a lot of great men. Men you've been bodyguards for, mentors, brothers. And Nash can't stand being next to greatness. Tonight isn't about respect, it's about getting even.
Good promo.
Yeah, and it wasn't like a shouty, quiet promo that Joe normally does.
Not over the top.
Yeah.
I know what I need to do tonight, Kevin. Because you see, tonight is not about getting respect, Kevin. Tonight is about getting even.
It's not a grudge match, it's a regular match. Samoa Joe versus Kevin Nash. Promo package guy. Samoa Joe. Jilted by an ally. Jilted. There's only one noun associated with that word.
Like a wedding?
Jilted lover.
Oh yeah.
As Nash hugs the half-naked man.
Samoa Joe, jilted by an ally.
Nashi in a blistering wolf pack, red and black, and a wee spackle of white. And we see in the crowd, there's an MEM equals respect. No, that was a bit righteous, I think, wasn't it? Yeah. So in the crowd. Joe comes out sans world title. But he's got a new Aztec design on his towel. Huge foreshadowing. Big, bulbous, turgid things to come.
Can I interject?
Please do.
New segment. You know, I love my segment.
Oh, I do. You know what went down well was the mid-match questionnaire.
Yeah, I loved it. I went down well.
I am so great. I am so great. Everybody loves me. I am so great.
So we got the OC interjection, right? So I want like some kind of YouTube thumbnail clickbaity, you know, like there's a big red arrow pointing to a plane crashing into a toddler. You know that kind of shit. Like, you know that kind of clickbaity. Like, give me something big. I want something big.
Plus a picture of you in the corner going like,
yeah. It's always you always have to have a face.
Yeah.
Face, some idiot looking into the middle distance. So, yeah, give me that. Okay. I want like plain toddler silly face. Alright, so OC interjection. Now she comes out, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's quite humorous. He's got a pair of red bin bags on his legs, and away we go into the match. And I was like, I looked out the window, and I was like, it's so lucky we don't do What Bar anymore, because you know what? Those two fuckers will cream themselves over what Kevin Nash is wearing. I'm telling you. So I had a little smirk, and I moved on with the rest of the show, like we're going to do right now. So I just wanted to point out that there will be no What Bar for this crazy get-up.
There will be no What Bar.
and away we go. How's the match, Jay?
Kind of barry.
Yeah. A little bit watty.
A little bit watty. A little bit barry. Jay! What Bar? It's Kevin Nash.
Oh, me meow.
We did that the wrong way around.
It's alright. Kevin Nash he spent a bit of cashy on a blisteringly luminous red and black. He's got a waistcoat, which is quite nice, and a wee spackle of white with his Nashy Superman logo there. What's it beer? Is Kevin Nash.
Well, Billy Harrison says he is a red diesel truck.
Fantastic, mate.
A diesel Mack truck.
A diesel Mack truck. That with legs.
We can close it down. There you go.
Aaron Ward Robinson says he is red bin bags.
Oh,
yeah.
Clearly wins.
At Grit Van Winkle says he is Ben Gay.
We have a bit of Benji.
A bit of Benji. Get up that yard, smell a Benji of you. At TJ Bloomfield,
people even know what we're saying.
Says he is Deep Heat Max, because, you know, he's got to help out those quads, you know.
Oh, that's very clever, mate. I like it. See, layers. This is what you put them
this
down.
What I'm missing.
Yeah, this is what they're doing.
And
Jay, he's only reading out of 10. That means there were like, what, 1,390 that were shit.
But they were like mostly like Kit Kats, like Twizzlers. Lots of Britney Spears from the Oops, I do
Spicy enough.
And my favourite one here, Zach Dara, says he is a torn quad.
That's brilliant. That's so clever, mate. Well done. Is that from Netter, is it?
And then Steve, because I know that you like them, I have a couple of what's.
Go on.
Alright. Julian McSanchez, which is a fucking fabulous name, says he's a packet of Winston.
Yeah.
And Chris Witness says he's a packet of Churchman's Henner cigarettes.
They look very World War II, don't they?
Yeah.
Virgil special kind of cigarettes here.
Virgil was in World War II.
It'd actually be cheaper if they're only a packet. Like,
yeah, true.
Richard Drazkowski,
Tropazowski.
Camel Reds.
You got the old camel over there.
The old camels.
Very good.
Ryan Fantasia, Dunhill Master Blend.
They look very fancy.
Yeah.
Caleb Smith, Captain Black Pipe Tobacco.
Oh, cherry flavour, that sounds disgusting.
I'd give it a go.
Yeah.
And Aries_Jupiter says he's a packet of Black Devil.
They look very classy.
Yeah, classy.
Classy.
And final one, Connor Cross 99 says he is Rizzler.
Brilliant.
And that winds up the What Bar /smokes for Nevin Cash.
Samoa Joe is on top of his game. Ding ding ding. Punchy Brawley inside, Punchy Brawley outside. Nashi finds a toolbox and pliers. Will he do the kind of clasp the pliers in the nose spot from bottom?
Or the one with Big Dave and Hunter from Mania. Do you remember when he pulled out his
very good.
nose ring?
Well done. No, he removes the top turnbuckle and finds two teeny pads underneath and peels them back too to expose the literal turnbuckle. Immediately Joe whips him into it, which is quite generous and kind of gently guides him towards it. Zero reaction from Nash and the crowd. I feel like Joe wasn't supposed to use that corner. He was like, he had 6 to choose from. And he picked the one gimmicked one for later. Joe gets up on Brett's rope. It's been dodgy all night. Outsiders picture perfect jumping kick to the face. Joe mouths Nash. MMA training? No.
Look at that pound, then ground.
Poke to the eyes. Nash bails to the outside and would have been greeted with a Samoa Joe dive, but no. Whack with a chair.
Whack, whoa, hey, hey.
Is this an OTQ? No, the ref has to just feign that he wasn't looking right at it. Jack, knife, powerbomb. Safer than usual. Joe is completely parallel to the mat. Like it. Exposed steel turnbuckle bonk. Ref admonishes Nash, which gives time for Joe to blade. Jackknife powerbomb number 2. 1, 2, no. Nash in the mount. MMA training? No. Lol. Joe with, I guess, what's supposed to be an armbar? Yeah, ref bump. Whoa. Nashi folds him up and uses the ropes. 1, 2, 3, and Nashi with the Kashi picks up the win after 12 minutes.
Wait a minute, he's gonna steal the rope! He's taking no chances! Oh, and he steals it!
I thought the opening of the match was perfect. Joe goes to town on Nashi, and Nashi actually sells it, which is so nice to see. You know, what a gracious, millionaire. It's fantastic.
A gracious millionaire.
They must actually be mates then, do you know?
Yeah. I was thinking, yes, this is what it needed. There's actual proper fucking heat for this match. And Joe is acting on the heat that has been built over the past few weeks. And he wants to kick the shit out of Nash, and he's finally got his hands on him. And then, hold on a second, Nash is taking control of the match? What? I know there was a chair shot and all that, but when you don't have interference in a match, in my book, if you go over, it's clean. You could have your foot in the ropes, you could use brass knucks, you could use a chair. It's practically clean, right?
You use the resources available to you.
Exactly. So you have the very recent world champion, one of the faces of the company, the future of this company.
The young faces of the company.
Exactly, that you're going to build, you have been building and you will continue to build the company around. Then you've got a part-time wrestler, an old man. And he basically kicks the shit out of Joe. You needed Joe to batter Kevin Nash throughout this match. Interference, pipe to the back of the head, whatever it is. Yeah, Nash picks up the win with his foot on the ropes. To keep the storyline going, Nash stays strong, Joe looks amazing, and you take it from there. I still quite enjoyed this match. I enjoyed the brutality of it. I think Joe getting color was absolutely the right decision.
Recite.
Whether you like it or not, your father is the only man that will be truly happy when you are better than him. Think about that for a second.
I want to learn how to create viral.
But what a missed opportunity. I'm so disappointed.
It was way better than I thought it was going to be. Loads of heat. There was a point in the match where the fans turned on Joe and then they wanted Nash to win more, which I felt was a bit weird. But my biggest gripe with it is that Kevin Nash shouldn't have won. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to put your new mega heel group over and make them dominant. One of my least favorite finishes in pro wrestling is the babyface that batters someone so much that they lose because the ref goes like, stop, get off, and then they keep on bashing them, and then the ref goes, we're going to reverse the decision, and you lose.
I think this is one of the times where that could have worked. Because Joe has been so...
Shamrock Rock.
Yeah.
Mania 14.
Yeah, I think Joe has been so angry and so on edge in the build that I think him snapping and beating Kevin Nash to the point where the referee has to give Nash the win could have worked. You know?
Can I shock you?
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this. Surprisingly engaging. Apart from the opening punchy brawl, so all of Joe's offense. Okay, it was all storyline developments using plunder, and it bloody worked. And there was heat. Shane Nash was the baby face to the crowd. It was all engaging, and it flowed very well one spot into the next until the finish. And the big takeaway, this was a clean win, Joe. You can't complain. This is as clean as heels win. So, fuck.
Yeah.
But no, I thought it was great. Well done, Kevin Nash. And more on that?
You know the spot where Joe was doing the dive and Kevin Nash hit him with the chair? What was Joe doing? Because... the angles don't add up. Kevin Nash was hiding behind one of the posts, and so Joe would have had to sprint, right? Dive through and have a strong gust of wind carry him backwards to land. I just thought it made him look like a bit of an idiot.
I did it for his own good. I did it to try to help him. That's all I've ever tried to do. Even now, believe it or not, even now, I'm trying to help him, but he spits in my face every single time.
Our final backstage interview of the night. JB is with a solemn sitting Sting.
JB asks him any regrets about bringing up AJ's father. He says no regrets at all. You have to look back to move forward. Even now, even after he spit in my face, I'm still trying to help him out. AJ's dad kicked him out of the house when he was 15. I'm going to kick him out of my house tonight. That's a great line, lads.
Well, man, I love this conflicted Sting angle where you feel that the main event mafia, to him, is more of a necessary evil, that he's sick of doing things the nice way. He's been getting nowhere with it for years. But
other than being champion multiple times and
going
top
over on
guy in the company.
show every single year.
It's peanuts. But there is a very real threat to the storyline, which is Steve Borden doesn't want to do overtly heel stuff, like battering Christian on the way out. Yeah, so this is what the product is. But for me, it works. It's a layer of intrigue, like how the Motor City Machine Guns are bratty heels in the face group. Sting doesn't believe he's 100% black hat. This, what we just saw, is a heel promo, just not to him.
Tonight, I'm gonna kick him out of my house.
7 matches down, 1 match left, cause it's time for your main event. It's your main event. For the TNA World title, it's the phenomenal AJ Styles versus the champion, the Icon Sting. Oh man, just really looking forward to this. How do they sell this on the Go Home Impact?
Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Styles.
Promoting Foley, calling out AJ. Well, at the time of Impact, they showed up together having ridden to the arena. 12-hour round trip, no time to tell. In the ring, Sting interrupts both and reaffirms his position. He respects Mick as a wrestler. Respect what he's done for the industry, and respect what he's trying to do here in TNA. It's what he tried to do, and he's been trying for 3 years and got nowhere. Like he will. Just watch, they'll disrespect you like they
Disrespect.
like they disrespected
Disrespect.
me. TNA originals want to be coddled, fed with a silver spoon.
If they don't get what they want, bombs, threats. AJ, you're never wrong, you're always right. And your dad was right to kick you out of the house when you were 15.
Yeah, you're always right. He's always wrong. You know something? Your dad had every right to kick you out of the house when you were 15 years old, AJ.
I quite like that.
That's pure heel work there. Also, Silver Spoon, so disingenuous and hypocritical considering Sting's lengthy WCW main event status. He was challenging Flair for the NWA World title a year into his WCW career in '88. And his generous TNA contract, it's so large, Spike TV has to help pay for it. Over $1 million and is the highest paid wrestler on the roster. Stay that way for years. And rarely does house shows, only the really big ones, like when they go to New York or to the UK. And then he finishes with like, what's little AJ gotta do when he sees his dad throw a tantrum? Pure out and out heel here. Press the nuclear option. Great, clever heel work here to completely throw AJ off his game. Make him emotional so he makes mistakes in the ring. Bang! Get in.
Champion and challenger. You hear the opening bell for our Turning Point main event with so very much at stake.
You know the way there's ominous people in attendance of a big match sometimes? Like King of the Ring 93 has a giant Hulkamaniac in the crowd, you know? There's a photographer with like a shock of blonde. It's hair. Yeah, it's Brillo pad gel hair quam. Stop taking attention away. It's the hair that only Justice could dream of. Good question for you here. Sting's bodysuit. Okay, I understand.
I'm guessing you're talking about thinking.
Well, I understand the knee pads. Why does he have eye pads?
Oh, you're not even going straight to the... Okay.
I haven't reached the greater leagues.
You're going from...
Yeah. What attack are you preventing?
Does he do atomic drums? No.
Well, that would be padding. That would be less painful for
I'm tapping.
So are we going kayfabe or...
Please kayfabe. Yeah, but I got my answers in kayfabe.
AJ likes to kick, so it's like extra padding from like high leg kicks.
But why does he not have padding on his arms at all?
This is the biggest muscle. God, it's going to be the worst place to kick. Do you know what I mean?
Like why on his belly welly or his back or his shoulders or his arms? Why doesn't he wear like a scrum cap?
Fucking hell! If we were in Florida in 2008, we'll bring a scrum cap, paint a little stinger on it.
Wrestlers should wear that.
They should.
Finished there. Yeah. Nothing else to say about the outfit there.
Just a minor quibble.
Go on, yeah.
Nice crotch guard here. It's pointed like a beak. That's, ready to chirp here.
You can't look ready to chirp.
What is it?
I don't know, Jay. What?
So, I didn't really get to watch it yet, but I seen, an interview with FYB Gaming and, Say Cheese, he said something like he'll smack you and Kanye or something like that.
Man, you know that's wrong. What I was gonna say, go look at his page. It's what's in his bio. In his bio, it actually says comedian. He is a comedian, bro. Like, I don't take it serious, bro. He's a comedian, bro. But my thing with Jay, man.
Rob Stone, the rapper behind one of the craziest moments in X's career. The time he got knocked out. Rob Stone born January 25th, 1995 in San Diego, grew up surrounded by a lot of music. His pops loved music and always had some good music playing around, bro. He was going up. And by the time he got out of high school, he was loving music. And his love for music was only getting stronger. And his life would change when he made the decision to go to college. He went to school in pretty much the music capital of the whole country. The city where most rappers that's big, they came from Atlanta. And you know what happened to people that love music when they go to Atlanta. He got down there, probably surrounded by all these other upcoming rappers or established rappers. It was only a matter of time before it started to influence. That's exactly what happened. He started rapping, creating a career, and eventually he made the move back home and ended up joining a rap group with some friends he knew for a minute. And off real, they was grinding, recording in their rooms with a mic hanging down from the fan. But during the whole time he was out grinding with his bros, he would end up in a bad situation. He ended up getting arrested. When they put him in that cop car, all he could think about was making some music. During that drive, he ended up coming with a song that would change his life. During this time period, most of the music he was making never released. He was just so focused on getting his sound right and making something that really sounded good before, you know what I mean? He went out and embarrassed himself. And when he came up with this song, he felt like it was right to drop. He felt like it was the one. And so he dropped this first official statement, Chill Bill, on June 10, 2014. And at first, he didn't realize how big the song could be. So for the next few months, the song was slowly going up, getting some buzz a little bit, until about June 2015, when he dropped the music video. This would be the moment the song blew up for real. It went viral just like many other songs I done spoke about. But this song was one you just couldn't escape. You heard it everywhere. And this was one of them songs you just knew. I know I keep saying it, but this is really a song you couldn't forget. I bet you turn that song on right now, you gonna know the word. And right after blowing up, he ended up signing a contract with RCA. And in 2016, he dropped this part.
Going through your phone. No, she don't what?
It's not your fault, Mom.
Not even been a child. It could have been a little person.
Turn any room into a theater with the Silvico 100-inch projector screen. It includes our projector and is compatible with any projector. Unfortunately, we're closing up shop, so our 70%...
Tape under RCA Records, and over this next year, he'd just be doing his thing, dropping some music, songs here and there, and everything was cool until about April 2017 came around. He was out doing what artists do, performing and just making money. He was at a venue when he was getting on stage to do his thing, but at the same time he was getting on stage, someone else wanted the stage too. They got on stage and tried to take over. When he couldn't get on the mic, he started getting mad and it was on bad time. Basically, was showing he wasn't getting off stage. And when that happened, security had to come step in. As you can see in the clip, Ski Mask slumped out on stage getting mad, escorted off by security. Nobody even knew what this little situation was going to start. Right after this popped up online, Ski Mask's right-hand man had something to say. X got on Twitter and was talking crazy. Let them know whoever that is, get up in their mouth when I go on tour. For putting their peasant hands on my brother. Rob seen this and just responded back with 4 words. I'm not Drake. And for the ones who don't get that tweet, let me give you some backstory. Basically, back when X was first blowing up in the world was Love and Look At Me. Drake pretty much stole the whole Look At Me sound on a song. Like, you can't say Drake ate by X. After this video, look it up and listen to the 2 songs, KMT and Look At Me. But when X found out, he was going crazy on Drake. Was talking about his mama, everything. But back to X and Rob. After Rob responded to the X tweet, Ski Mask had something to say. At Young Rob Stone, is there a problem though? Because you can see how your quote-unquote team tried. We can tell the fans all the details. The next day, Ski Mask still got a jump. But this wasn't no regular jump. Ski got on stage, and when he did, middle of his performance, some men ran up on him. He ended up falling into the crowd. But him thinking fast, he just ran backstage. And when he got back there, the beating wasn't over. Rob Stone had a mob of people go run down those ski and they jumped. But I say this wasn't no regular jumping because they had ski pants all the way down. Really think about this. 10 niggas surrounding a man on the ground in his underwear? Like, come on, bro. What is y'all doing? After it happened, though, X had something to say. How the f*** you jumping off 30? And don't kill that boy. And being honest, he do got a point. How 10 of y'all drunk one man, he ain't knocked out, he ain't hurt? What? Like, come on, bro, what is y'all doing? But the day after this, they took it to the media and explained both their sides of the story. Stone said the only reason he got jumped was because he messed up a little too many times. He said he gave Ski 3 strikes. First strike was back before the situation where Ski even got pulled off stage. And they was both performing in Seattle. And Rob said, quote unquote, first show, he ran out on my set in Seattle with my 3rd song. And started trying to shake hands with the fans in the middle of my song, pretending to turn up with me. It wasn't no genuine turn up. It was ruining my spot. So that was the first strike. I told him, don't do that. If you gonna run on my set, I'm gonna chill Bill at the end. So he's like, Alright, cool. And it was straight. And he said strike two was at the San Diego show. Said Ski showed up 30 minutes late to his own set, so all the other times got messed up. And then Rod Words, his set time, 8:30 p.m. Mine, 9 p.m. They got like he not gonna show up, all this weird stuff, so they pushed the set times back. They pushed mine at 9:30. He was supposed to go on at 9. And he don't show up till 9:25, so it's time for me to hit the stage. My DJ on stage opening up my set. Ski come around on stage and take the mic from my DJ. My DJ ain't giving him mic. So he gonna stand in the middle of the stage with his arms folded, wanna act tough on my security. And after that show, he allegedly pressed Ski mask backstage. Then finally got to the night where Ski got jumped. Ski shows up for a set early and runs straight to the stage like, oh, he don't come in, check in, holler, none of that. I wasn't even trying to run on stage and do bro like that. I was supposed to get it bro behind the scenes. Rob said he beat Ski from the stage to the street. Ski has something different. Ski said to start the tour, agency was trying to get Rob off the tour just because they seen how the crowd really wasn't messing with Rob during none of the shows. Ski said, statistically, I shouldn't even perform before. Looking at the numbers, I shouldn't have to perform before because it don't make sense. My numbers way higher than his in general. That performance-wise, he don't do good in general. And performance, none of that. So they were trying to get him throughout the tour, and he was angry. But said Rob couldn't get kicked off the tour because it would be a breach of contract. And the venue would have to pay out $75,000 if they cut Rob off. But Ski explained why he got on stage to begin with. Pretty much, Ski was getting into it with the tour manager. And the tour manager was talking. He was trying to make Ski perform without paying him. Ski said something. He told Ski, alright, well, I guess you're not going to perform and you're not going to get paid. Ski was like, what? I'm not going on that stage. But the manager was being paid. He was like, oh, you're not going to perform, man? You can't tell your fans you ain't going to perform. So at this point, he was trying to make people think Ski never struggled up. And the reality was trying to turn the Ski mask fans against him. That's when he got on stage. Ski said nobody was performing it, that they was just playing random music. And in Ski words, I asked Rostone Homeboy if I could please get the mic from him real quick, and I'd get it back. Bro said, no. So I'm staring at him. Then it's people that wasn't security. They just, his people came trying to escort me off stage. Then when the real security came, Rostone What came with him, he allegedly grabbed Ski arm and Ski like. Ski was basically thinking, you ain't even real security. What is you doing? Why is you touching me? Then later on, when they got to arguing on Twitter, Ski said Rob DM'd him trying to be all friendly and said he don't want no beef with Ski and that X need to chill out with all that talking crazy. But when it came time to when Ski got jumped, he really just reaccounted everything the way it happened. He said it was like 10 people trying to jump him, but something I didn't speak on was when they was jumping, bro, they pulled out a knife. And one of his boys that was getting jumped with him ended up getting stabbed in the mouth. Really think about it. They tried to kill Ski Mask because he got on stage and some tweets on Twitter, but at the end of the day, Ski Mask felt like he got set up by the venue. Because think about it, he was already arguing with the men, and the only reason he came to this show in the first place was because he ain't want people thinking he was soft. And Ski was like, look, I'm trying to perform for my fans anyway. Then on top of that, when Ski got to the venue,
It's a show about a bunch of teenagers who don't know just how good they had it. Fighting independently of the adult authorities in their lives, can't just go along with the flow, have to do it their way, prove that they're just as capable, and start a superhero cartoon revolution that sets the foundation for a whole new generation of fans. Hi, I'm Dan Larson, and this is the history of Teen Titans. Thank you to Raycon for sponsoring this video. Click the link in the description below to get 15% off your order today. One of the only ways I've found to escape the constant barrage of being online is being on my bike. It's good for getting exercise, fresh air, and feeling better about myself, but best for disconnecting from a virtual world content on doing the opposite for me. Raycon earbuds literally help me tune out the rest of the world and focus on myself and my health. They feature simple push-button navigation, noise isolation, and custom gel tips, so you can find the perfect, most comfortable in-ear fit. Raycon earbuds are water and sweat resistant and hold an 8-hour charge. They have a storage case that gives you another 32 hours on top of that. You can purchase a pair and a spare and still pay less than you would with some of those other big-name tech brands. Use my link in the description below or go to buyraycon.com/toygalaxy to get 15% off your Raycon purchase. That's buyraycon.com/toygalaxy to get 15% off your first purchase today. And thanks again to Raycon. Teen Titans is an animated series that originally aired 65 episodes over 5 seasons from July of 2003 to January of 2006, followed by a movie in September of 2006 to put a bow on the whole thing. A purposeful rebuke to the gritty, dramatic, mature superhero shows of the late 90s and early 2000s. Teen Titans follows a handful of teenage superheroes in their daily adventures protecting Jump City and the greater world from superpowered criminals and murderers, while desperately trying to navigate all the highs and lows of adolescence. When they're not trying to figure out how to get more food in the fridge, they're striking back against evil from their T-shaped headquarters just offshore. Leader and martial arts expert Robin is joined by Cyborg, the muscle and tech expert, Starfire, the otherworldly princess, Beast Boy, the shape-shifting comic relief, and Raven, the mysterious cosmic demon girl. You'll never mistake them for the Justice League, and that's the way they like it. Cooler, funnier, and way more interesting than the boomers and Gen Xers. They are the Teen Titans. Teen Titans began in the pages of DC Comics. Robin made his first appearance in Detective Comics number 39, cover dated April 1940. Robin's popularity kicked off an era saturated with younger versions of the adult superheroes that were more relatable and more representative of the kids reading the books. Aqualad, Wonder Girl, Speedy, Kid Flash, each of them an avatar for the kids who aspired to be as smart, as strong, and as powerful as the superheroes whose names were splashed across the covers. Becoming Batman would take some time to grow into a lifetime goal. Robin was something that could be achieved now. Those DC Comics sidekicks started teaming up in the pages of The Brave and the Bold in 1964, coincidentally around the same time that Marvel Comics started taking up space on the racks with teen-centric heroes like the Uncanny X-Men and the Amazing Spider-Man. Brave and the Bold issue 54 featured Robin, Kid Flash, and Aqualad. 6 issues later, they recruited Wonder Girl and started using the name Teen Titans. In January of 1966, they got their own official title, simply called Teen Titans. By 1973, the book had run its course, canceled after issue 43. 3 years later, it resumed with issue 44 and hung around for 9 more issues. By issue 53, the Teen Titans recognized that, perhaps, as full-grown adults, they didn't want to be called teens anymore. They all went their separate ways to prepare for the day that they would be called to replace their mentors as full-time members of the Justice League. But before that would happen, they returned rebooted and ready for a new series in 1980, this time by writer Marv Wolfman and artist George Perez, who not only wanted to bring the team back, but further distance them from their sidekick origins, and the indignity of being little Justice Leaguers. Original team members Robin, Kid Flash, and Wonder Girl returned, but this time joined by Beast Boy, Starfire, Raven, and Cyborg, new characters with no adult analog, existing purely as who they were without drafting on the popularity of an established character. It was this version of the team that solidified the Teen Titans' role in the DC Universe, established the foundation for their individual origins and the team's origin, introduced their rogues gallery, and told the stories that brought readers back over the course of nearly 2 decades. In 1989, Batman was a hit at the box office, sparking interest in comic book-based properties with mainstream audiences. The success of that film and its 1992 sequel, Batman Returns, resulted in Batman the Animated Series, which had a similar effect for superheroes in their depiction in animation. Developed by Bruce Timm and Eric Radomski, Batman the Animated Series was built for an older, more mature audience. It was designed as a purposeful rebuke of the traditional depictions of superheroes on television and specifically animation, shows like Super Friends or the 1966 Batman and Robin television series. Batman the Animated Series spawned similarly themed animated superhero shows for adults like HBO's Spawn. Over the decade that followed, Batman the Animated Series evolved into a fully interconnected DC universe of animation with shows like Superman the Animated Series, Batman Beyond, The Zeta Project, Justice League, and Justice League Unlimited. In the early 90s, Glenn Murakami was hoping to get into comics when he accidentally got into animation. As a fan of cartoons and anime, he assumed that it would be too difficult to break into animation, so comics was a more realistic path. Until his high school friend accidentally got into animation and helped recruit him. Warner Brothers was hiring artists to work on Batman the Animated Series. Murakami was able to get his portfolio into the hands of both Eric Radomski and Bruce Timm. While they didn't think much of his storyboarding, they recognized his overall drawing ability and figured they could train him as they went. And his career grew from there, with Murakami eventually describing himself as Bruce Timm's right-hand man. Murakami did it all, from character designs to storyboards. He was a producer on Superman the Animated Series, creator and producer on Batman Beyond, and producer on Justice League. He helped steer the decade of superhero animation on television and in movies, which made him the prime candidate to create the series that would rebel against it.
My teenage superheroes. Secret identities. Schoolwork as plenty. Oh man, we gotta get out of here. Titans coming up next.
1, Sam Register was named Cartoon Network's new Senior Vice President of Development. One of his goals was to adapt Teen Titans, a comic he had grown up reading. As part of the process, he invited Murakami to pitch his vision for what the series could be. As Murakami told the story, quote, he said he wanted something different. He needed a show more for 6 to 11-year-olds. I think when I tell the story of the show's development, it seems like a very corporate decision. But, it's a very valid decision. It was something different from the kind of shows that Bruce Timm had established. And having worked on all those shows before, it made it easier to do a show that was just different from the previous ones. Murakami grew up reading the same Teen Titans comics that Register had, the 1980s roster and mythology established by Marv Wolfman and George Perez. So it was a no-brainer where they were going to draw their inspiration from. It was the perfect roster to illustrate the difference between the Teen Titans and the well-established Justice League already on television. They weren't stupid. Of course Robin was the lead. Distancing yourself from the previous generation is one thing. Fumbling the stockpiled cash of Batman marketability after 10 years of development would have been more appropriate if the show was called Suicide Squad. Pause for laughter. Murakami was inspired by his love of anime in general and cutting-edge new shows coming out of Japan like Footy Cootie. Through his time on Superman the Animated Series and Batman Beyond, he developed a relationship with and appreciation for the work of Japanese animation studio TMS Entertainment, whose portfolio of work goes back to the 1960s and includes productions like Lupin III, Ulysses 31, Space Cobra, and The Mighty Robots. Murakami pulled from other Japanese television influences like Toei's Super Sentai series and specifically Toei's cyborg character Kikaida when developing a look for Cyborg. If it weren't for shows like Cyborg 009 and Speed Racer having been favorites of his growing up, Teen Titans might have been a very different show. Teen Titans' theme was composed by Andy Strummer and performed in both English and Japanese by the Japanese band Puffy Amiyumi. For the most part, the English version was used, but occasionally, depending on the broadcast region, the Japanese version would be substituted on episodes that were more focused on humor than drama. Teen Titans first aired on Cartoon Network in July of 2003. Initial reactions to the series from people outside the target demographic was mixed, with IGN saying it, quote, fails to live up to the source material or its potential. It's bogged down by an overly cartoony style that looks more like anime without most of the good points. From its after-school special style attempts at storytelling to its painfully annoying signature tune, Teen Titans fails to meet even the lowest of expectations for the series. People inside the demographic disagreed. They thought it was great. Teen Titans was immediately the best-performing Cartoon Network series for boys 6 to 11. The ratings increased with each episode, making it the most successful Cartoon Network series for 6 to 11-year-olds, averaging over 500,000 viewers per episode. Season 1 ended its run on Cartoon Network in November of 2003, at which time it began airing Saturday mornings on broadcast television as part of the Kids WB programming. Ratings on WB weren't as strong as they had been on Cartoon Network, but the combination of the two guaranteed that the series would continue. Cartoon Network capitalized on that success with an order for 13 more episodes and then 2 additional seasons after that. A 5th season brought the total to 65, the minimum number of episodes to be rerun in the future in daily syndication. Teen Titans was one of Cartoon Network's most popular series, winning industry awards and producing a mountain of licensed merchandise across the spectrum of home goods and entertainment media. Bandai released action figures in multiple scales along with vehicles and playsets. Nintendo released Teen Titans for the Game Boy Advance in 2005, followed by Teen Titans 2 in 2006. Teen Titans was released for PlayStation 2, X. Series had evolved into the new Batman Adventures, or how Justice League became Justice League Unlimited. Take all the new characters from Season 5 and have a larger, more variable roster depending on the needs of the story, and call the show New Teen Titans. Some say it was Cartoon Network who made the decision, others blame WB, others have stated that it could have been either a ratings drop after Season 4 or Mattel who made the call to kill the show since Bandai had the toy rights for the series. Mattel didn't want any competition after becoming the licensee for Cartoon Network in general in 2006. Another plausible theory is that it was canceled due to internal data, specifically for committing the crime of cannibalizing demographics. Teen Titans had crossed over into audiences that were already being targeted by other shows in the Warner Brothers and Cartoon Network library and was stealing from their viewership and merchandise sales. See, as the theory goes, everything about television and licensed merchandise sales is carefully targeted according to very specific, very expensive demographic data. There are products intended for boys aged 6 to 11, and there are products intended for girls aged 6 to 11. The theory suggests that if a show like Teen Titans starts to bring in too many dollars and eyeballs from too many demographics, then it starts messing up all the corporate data and budgets for how various products and shows are going to be planned into the future. Better to kill it than to have to redo an Excel spreadsheet. And, I can't argue with that. So the final feature film called Teen Titans Trouble in Tokyo was produced that brought the series to a proper conclusion. It focused on Starfire, the only character of the core five who had not had a series dedicated to her. It premiered in San Diego.
Ever since the beginning of Jay's career, fans have argued about whether Hove and his music were gangsta or if he had stolen some or many of his lines from another rapper. However, there's at least one incident that could have completely derailed Jay-Z's career and put him in jail for years. It was a very serious situation near the beginning of his career, and one of Biggie's business partners was on the receiving end of Jay-Z's bad temper at the time. In December 1999, Jay-Z and Lance Rivera had a heated argument over an undisclosed matter at the Kit Kat Club nightclub in New York. It happened in the midst of a release party for Q-Tip's album Amplified, to which multiple celebrities and hip-hop industry big names like P. Diddy, Lil Cease, and Lil Kim were invited. Things got physical, and Jay-Z allegedly stabbed Rivera in the abdomen and back multiple times. The two, quote, definitely had a working relationship, according to Aaron Burke, a spokesperson for Rivera, who said that Hove and Rivera knew each other for a long time. They both grew up in Brooklyn together. Both had connections to Biggie Smalls. Important to note, the Notorious B.I.G. and Jay-Z always had a warm and pretty close relationship. They worked together for years and helped each other in their private lives when it was needed. And Jay-Z also helped himself to many of his lines during his career. Jay-Z never shied away from acknowledging Biggie's influence on him and his career, and the two always had respect for each other's music. Lance Rivera, who would have personal issues with Jay-Z later, was also on good terms with Big, but the two mostly kept a business relationship rather than being close friends. The incident in question happened 2 years after Biggie's passing, so basically the issues between Jay-Z and Lance had nothing to do with Biggie Smalls, to make things clear. What went wrong then? Well, that's where the fans' opinions differ. The initial theory revolved around the business Jay-Z and Owen were working together. Lance Rivera was a producer for numerous Jay-Z projects and was working with him on Owen's fourth album, Volume 3, Life and Times of S. Carter. Everything was going fine. The album was ready for release in a month, and Jay-Z wanted to celebrate finishing the project by throwing a listening party at Irving Plaza with his crew. This party took place the same day as Q-Tip's album release party, where Jay-Z and Owen butted heads. Hove performed some of his new tracks here, and it was a usual event until Jay found out that his upcoming album was already bootlegged a whopping month before its release. Back in the day, the internet wasn't that widespread, and bootlegs were a far bigger deal than they are nowadays and had a greater impact on artists' income. After all, you can't distribute your album to every store across the nation in just a day, as opposed to when you can just put it up on streaming platforms immediately or less than 24 hours after it leaks. Usually the records would leak a couple of days, maybe weeks before the release, after they would get to stores and someone would get their hands on them. But an entire month could potentially hurt a project to the point where it made basically no sense to even release it. It made Jay-Z absolutely angry. He even started yelling, F the bootleggers, and cussing them out from the stage. A big part of the problem was the fact that music was mostly distributed physically at the time, so the internet wasn't to blame for the leaking. Bootleggers had to gain access to the copies of the album that were typically given to them by the company that produces and distributes the project for promotional and other purposes. Logically, the person who leaked Jay-Z's album should have been someone who got the copy early, like, for example, a DJ, or it could be someone who worked for the company itself. For one reason or another, Jay-Z had enough evidence to suggest that it was Lance Rivera who bootlegged the upcoming record, which led to Hove taking matters into his own hands and going after him at the party in the Kit Kat Club, where the entire incident happened. Those rumors were circulating in the media right after the incident happened, and some of the biggest music platforms like MTV linked this information to an anonymous source who worked with the police, although there wasn't a single public statement made on the matter. That's why things got even more intriguing when a completely different version, which involved Charlie Baltimore's name, made it to the public eye. Interestingly, those rumors were created by none other than the rapper Cameron, who also had a close relationship with Lance Rivera and Big, and was beefing with Jay at the time. In his diss track towards Hove, Cameron dropped this line, "It ain't my fault I'm raw, I'm sorry B, but I want war." And he stabbed Un over Charlie Baltimore, sucker for love, sucker for love, kill it, itch, go to trial, can't be stuffed in the glove. There's no need to go in depth about these lyrics, as everything is rather straightforward here. And thankfully, Cameron elaborated on the lines in one of his interviews. This was all over Charlie Baltimore. I'm not going to get into the details of what happened and why, but it's just a lot of where Jay liked Charlie at one time, and that was Biggie's girl. Un felt that was the artist, and Jay was teaching her the business. Un and Jay, shoot, they can say a song leaked or whatever, but it was all over Charlie Baltimore. Baltimore, on the other hand, debunked those rumors on numerous occasions through the years.
Cameron, how you feel about him saying that Jay-Z stabbed Un over you?
I don't know really what happened. I actually came there after the fact. Like, I was already stabbed. I don't know exactly who stabbed him. I don't think that Jay stabbed Un. But there was a record, or there was something going on with some bootlegging of some albums or something, allegedly, that Jay thought that Un was doing to him, and apparently that's what sparked it off. But by the time I got to the club, because if I'm not mistaken, it was this huge Q-tip party, and by the time I got there, everybody was just running out. So I'm like, what the is going on? Like, everybody's just running, screaming, and next thing I know, all I see is Un laying on the ground. And I'm like, what the what the is wrong with you? He's like, damn.
Although many fans find Charlie's words unconvincing,
but if I recall you saying that you heard us saying that, if you don't mind, you detail that day from your point of view.
I mean, in my opinion, obviously it wasn't over me. This all has something to do with records and, like you said, the bootlegging and stuff or whatever. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe Un also said that Jay didn't stab him, right?
Add to this weird behavior from the man who got stabbed, Lance Rivera himself, when asked the question whether Baltimore was the reason for the entire situation, and you wouldn't need Sherlock Holmes to notice that something strange happened that night. In one of the recent interviews, Un addressed this rumor and said that he can't speak for Cam's information, as Cameron wasn't there when the incident took place. Professional, body readers. Another rapper, Doug, from the hip-hop group Major Figures, also believed that the incident happened over something personal.
So we were here because we were directly in contact. We heard that was what happened. I never saw a copy of Jay-Z's album being done by I can say that. I never saw it. But some kind of way the shit got to the streets. So it's gotta come from somewhere.
Specifically, Dutch brought up the possibility of Jay-Z and Un butting heads over Charlie Baltimore, who we mentioned before in this story.
My thing was, Un was out of pocket, but even insinuating in his mind to think of going that direction when that's your brother, Biggs, ex-piece. So you're saying Un was going in that direction, and he suspected Jay-Z was also going in that direction. No, he suspected because Charlie and Jay had a good friendship, and it wasn't just a friendship.
However, it wasn't the last mysterious part of the story that made it so odd. Nas, Jay-Z's ex-arch nemesis, dropped the infamous diss track Ether, where he mentioned the stabbing incident and added one more rumor to make the story even more twisted. With whiskers like a rat compared to being too whack, and your man stabbed On and made you take the blame. Well, one might think that this conclusion is rather logical since Jay-Z never had any publicly known legal issues like that, and wasn't known for being much of a brawler at any stage of his career. Also, rappers of Ho's magnitude definitely have an entourage that consists of bodyguards and people who are hired to deal with all the, quote, dirty stuff like fighting and especially stabbing or offing someone. So it wouldn't be surprising to know that it wasn't Jay-Z personally who did it. Once again, things weren't as simple as they might seem. A couple of days after the incident took place, Jay-Z turned himself which could have turned into a whopping 15 years behind bars. Jay-Z claimed that he wasn't involved in the accident, while his lawyer claimed to have found a videotape that should have shown Jay-Z standing aside when the fight broke out. Ho pled not guilty and was adamant about his innocence during a long and complicated legal process that lasted for 2 years. Then the situation took a 180-degree turn, and Hope pled guilty in court, plainly saying, I stabbed Lance Rivera. Jay-Z got a 3-year probation, which prohibited Hope from leaving New York without his probation officer's permission, and managed to escape any jail time. Thankfully for Jay, everything turned out in his favor, and pleading guilty was probably what helped Hope save his life and career for the next, at least, 5 years. The logical question is, why would Hope plead guilty if there was no solid proof of him being onto Tiger? Well, first things first, it was a very serious charge, and if Jay indeed did it, the court would have found it out sooner or later. So Jay-Z's lawyer probably thought it would be better for Hope to just come clean or at least admit to it, even if he didn't do it. So the punishment would be less harsh, he wouldn't get any jail time, and he could continue the momentum of his career. The second reason could be a bit more shrewd. Jay could take responsibility for stabbing Hunt to raise his street credibility. Sure, it might sound weird and kind of risky considering the stakes, although stranger things have happened in hip-hop, where respect and sometimes fear are everything. Jay-Z addressed this incident numerous times in his tracks, interviews, and in his autobiographical book, Decoded. One night I went to Q-Tip's solo album release party, and at some point in the night, I ran into the guy everyone's been telling me is behind the bootleg, speaking of Lance Rivera. So I approached him. When I told him what I suspected, to my surprise, he got real loud with me right there in the middle of the club. It was strange. We separated and I went over to the bar. I was sitting there like, nah, the F this dude did not. I was talking to people, but I was really talking to myself out loud, just in a state of shock. Before I even realized what I was doing, I headed back over to him, but this time I was blacking out with anger. The next thing I knew, all hell had broken loose in the club.
I feel red. Nah, I'm correct now. Correct.
That nigga made me sad, bro. I ain't lying, dog. It was real tears. Both of them, bro. Real tears, dog. Oh, they just start jumping now. They know I'm in the city. Oh, this like me up. Oh, this like that rat. Flip-flop. Daisy Duke. What? Little Rock like DR. Flip-flop, Daisy Duke with the hair butted on. Hey, I'm Little Rock. I'm with Little Rock. Oh, they ratchet out here. I'm Little Rock. Yeah, flip-flops with the butted on. With the ass cheeks hanging out. We in VR. Yeah, Jay. Yeah, Jay, we in VR. Oh, it's thug life out here. This my type of party. Oh, they fucking. Oh, look at that. Oh, they thugging. Oh, they thugging. Oh, look at the ass cheeks out. The 1 cent. Look at the 1 cent. That's Brookstown. Oh, yeah, that's Brookstown. Guardian Lane. That's Guardian Lane. With them thin socks. With them chains on. Oh, yeah, that's Guardian Lane. Yeah, it's my type of party. Well, they gonna turn up tonight. I fuck with Little Rock. They gonna be ratchet today. I'm gonna be ratchet right with them. You call the right motherfucker. Little Rock, thug life out shit. This is my type of party. You know what a book man. This my type of party, baby. They pulling up. Oh, they pulling up. This bitch dumb. This bitch dumb. They got the kids pulling up now. Oh, this VR here. Oh, this VR. Oh, they pulling up, fans swinging. Oh, this that.
Let me see that leg. Okay. Oh, yeah, we in this bitch tonight. Oh, damn. We in this bitch tonight. Yeah, we outside. We trying to go to the strip club. Out. What the best strip club?
Making his way to the ring, Mr. Instant Classic. And his opponent.
Day by day, day by day, we're going to continue exposing the world that we truly live in, alright? We're going to be checking out this video today called Hollywood Humiliation Rituals Exposed. Now, this is a topic that we speak about often, but in today's video, we're going to be diving very, very deep into what these rituals actually consist of. Make sure you guys do leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel. Without further ado, let's get right into this video.
Since I started researching the Freemasons' involvement in the entertainment industry, I have heard of many claims of celebrities being put through humiliation rituals. When I first discovered the term, I spent some time looking into it, trying to determine if there was any truth to it. Since I didn't find anything credible, I started to believe humiliation rituals weren't a thing. I thought it was just something made up by the internet to explain strange things celebrities did. Like I mentioned a few videos back in the Hollywood White Party video, I have recently started changing my mind on the idea. See, I have been doing research into fraternities and their rituals, finding a link between them and Freemasonry. What people don't know is that fraternities were actually created and modeled after Freemasonry, with many of them being created by actual high-degree Masons, like the fraternity Omega Psi Phi, which was created by the Prince Hall Freemason Frank Coleman. Many famous celebrities have been a part of this fraternity, like Bill Cosby and Michael Jordan. Omega Psi Phi is a perfect example of the Freemasons' influence when it comes to fraternities. Some of their rituals and practices comes directly from Masonry. One thing fraternities are known for doing is putting new members through a hazing ritual. I don't know why, I didn't look into this before. A hazing ritual is a humiliation ritual. The purpose of a hazing ritual is to humiliate the person being initiated, to put the new member through the same embarrassing moment other members had to go through, creating a bond, and also providing something that can be held over the new member's head. Since I know the Masons inspired and basically created most fraternities, I wondered, do the Masons have a hazing ritual themselves? I started searching to see if I can find instances of hazing ever being done in Masonic lodges. After doing some searching, I discovered the answer to this was actually yes. Masonic lodges do perform some sort of hazing ritual. While researching, I came across a website for the Sacramento Scottish Rite Lodge.
But whenever I see dudes dressed up like this, that full Mason outfit, the only thing I can think to myself is like, damn, they know some shit that I don't know. They know something that I don't know. We don't know what they know, but they know something. Everyone knows that the entire Masonic agenda is to create a new world order. It says that in the Masonic handbook. We went over that in other videos. But I want to know what the hell they know, bro. I need to know.
While researching, I came across a website for the Sacramento Scottish Rite Lodge, where an article that was written by one of the members confesses to hazing rituals being a part of Masonry. In the article, he wrote, I attended a Masonic conference where the use of what some Masonic presenters deemed hazing was illustrated from European rituals and from the Masonic rituals of old manuscripts. There was a question as to what was the reason for having activities resembling hazing in Masonic ritual, and why were they so prevalent in the past and still more popular outside of the USA. These Masonic presenters, who are the top Masonic scholars in American Masonry, seemed themselves puzzled over the inclusion of the hazing element of the ritual. In this article, open as day, a Mason confessed that hazing rituals or humiliation rituals are a real thing. More importantly, he admits it still takes place in lodges, and it comes directly from the old manuscript of Masonry, meaning hazing humiliation rituals.
I find it interesting how they always have these things in the music videos. I want you to pay attention. A lot of these rappers, artists, celebrities, they do certain things at major award shows, or they have certain symbols or certain music video themes. It all has satanic or Masonic ties. But let's continue.
Have been a part of Masonry for a long time. Now, for those that commented that humiliation rituals were real, you guys can comment "I told you so" below, because you are indeed correct, and I can humbly admit I missed this information when looking into it. I kept looking for Masonic humiliation rituals, and nothing was coming up. All I had to do was swap out the word humiliation with the word hazing, and I started to see results. The Mason, just like many fraternities, perform humiliation rituals in secrecy. The Skull and Bones are one of those fraternities made by Freemasons that adopt Masonic rituals, one being the hazing initiation ritual. The Skull and Bones, just like Omega Psi Phi, was created by a Freemason by the name of Alfonso Taft, the father of President William Howard Taft. The Skull and Bones put their members through all types of humiliation rituals as they climb up in degrees. While looking into the Masonic hazing ritual, I found an instance when things went too far during the ritual, and the ritual led to dire consequences. According to this New York Times report, back on March 10, 2004, in the upstate New York Lodge number 493, a humiliation ritual went terribly wrong. A member was being initiated to a secret Masonic club called the Fellow Craft Club. The humiliation...
Hey, welcome back, Screen Crush. I'm Ryan Airy. So, the most important line we've heard in the show Secret Invasion has been totally overlooked.
And what happens if the Avengers return?
This line confirms that the Avengers split up following Avengers Endgame. And this line is huge for many reasons. One, I really don't understand why they would break up. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But two, it also gives us a roadmap for where the MCU is going from here on out. And it tells us exactly what kind of Avengers team we can expect in the future. So this line means that following the events of Infinity War, when every single superhero stood arm in arm to save the universe, that a few of these heroes would bother to say, hey, guys, we should do this. Now, clearly the MCU... Spoiler alert for episode 4, by the way. Alien terrorists attacked the president of the United States. Now, this would ordinarily be the Avengers, the powerful people who could fight the battle. In the old days, Cap would have shown up in a plane jet, or Tony would have dispatched the Iron Legion from space. But now, the Tony drones have all been seized and appropriated by damage control. The superheroes no longer have a contingency in place for disastrous events like this. And I think that the heroes' decision to not reform the Avengers was ultimately selfish, and I'm going to prove that to you. I mean, these superheroes had their reasons, but as Fury would say, they're stupid-ass reasons. The heroes have acted selfishly, and they hung Nick Fury out to dry. Hey, by the way, man, I'm going to have lunch. You want some?
Person, are you shoving cornmeal into your mouth like Winnie the Pooh, or if Winnie the Pooh ate cornmeal instead of honey?
Yeah, I know there's a way to turn cornmeal into food. I just don't know what it is. I mean, there has to be a better way. Now, back to what I was saying. Now, the show has given...
I know you used to work with Wallow and Gilly, right?
Yes, I did.
You used to do a lot of work with them.
Not a lot. I did when I was
doing to somebody, it could be a lot.
Yeah, well, it was
you know what I'm saying? Time is a lot for me.
Yeah, for sure.
If I spend 5 minutes, the Shark Tank, no jump. Sharpest, coolest podcast in the world. And today I got one of my personal friends in here, man. I love this girl a lot. I love what she puts out to the world. I love her content, man. We got Don't Call Me White Girl in the building today.
Woo! Give it up.
You did. Give it
up for the Don't Call Me White Girl from Philadelphia, baby. I'm excited to be here. It's a long time coming, Sharp.
It is. I'm glad that I actually got to get you down here because I know our schedules be crazy. I know you be ripping and running up
hella
east.
busy. That's really busy.
But I know you be up there ripping and running up east a lot. You know what I'm saying? So you be gone. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I need to get you down here to come mess with me.
No, for real. I need to live here.
So we can do something.
Seriously. I need to be West Coast on LA more. And I need a little alleyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I might be warm at night.
You got a little condo or something, clean. You know what I'm saying? Quiet little neighborhood, no kids.
No social media. I can deal with the kids.
How many? Up to how many?
Max, I would like 3 max.
You're real one.
How many baby moms can I take this question? I can take baby mothers and maybe 2. If you got them to the line, because Sharp, that's the thing.
Yeah.
And I told you that before. When you're a certain kind of man, things fall in line. No matter how dumb the is, when you're a certain kind of man, things fall in line. But these niggas don't have their I's dotted and their T's crossed, so everything be crazy. You meet a you done gain 10 and you gain 3 enemies from one.
The best way to deal with your baby mamas is I'm gonna tell you this. She ain't with you, gonna put you through everything. Hell, look what she put you through when you're with her. Imagine what she gonna put you through when you're not. So you just, I feel like, honestly, like just let that shit, hey, turn the cheek on a lot of that shit. Not everything she's gonna do deserves attention.
Listen.
Let that ride. I learned that the hard way. Like, cause all you do is sit there and beat yourself up. I'm just speaking for the men.
That's
you know
some
what I'm
real
saying?
shit.
For real.
Listen, it's the turn the cheek thing. When I left, we had a daughter, ain't had no car, but I moved to the suburbs, probably 45 minutes away. I gave her my old little hoopty. You know why? People looked at me like I was crazy for that, but I'm going to do everything I can to keep y'all united. It's never going to be something on my side where you can say, well, your mama moved you away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got this hoopty, I'm not using it. You go ahead and take that, you know, so you could get back and forth to see your daughter.
That's live.
A lot of it happened in between because people always asking, how do you co-parent? For the most part, I'm the one being a bigger person because I really don't want to beef with this. I don't want them no more, but we got to raise this human. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just really get in the mix because the emotion, they be toxic. They really want that for real. Because if you really, where's my camera? If you really don't want that man, it's no way in the world y'all should be beefing. If you really don't want him. Now, if you find yourself picking who touched their hair, who changed their clothes, why you take care of it, you might have to reevaluate how you feel about that. You might really want that back. Because if you really don't want him, petty shit about who he dated, where the baby going, he not going to bring no harm to his child.
You should just care that, and to hate the next chick, you should just care that she's actually being good to your kid.
What?
Not doing their hair. Why would you be mad at that?
What?
Are you mad because they might have did it a little bit better than you would?
What?
Like, what's the real problem? How deep does that really fall? You know, when I think about that. Let me talk to you, though. I want to know, man, about your upbringing. I want to know you.
Yeah.
I know you spoke on it before, but I feel like I can get a little bit more about you. You dig what I'm saying? I really do. I do. I feel like I'm gonna get it. I want to know about you. Like, I want to know your upbringing. I want to know how you grew up. What made Don't Call Me White Girl? Where'd that come from? Talk to some of my viewers.
I'm from North Philly originally, and my mother is lighter than me, freckles, green eyes, hair in her back, but we black, right? What it really is, and I never get into it because it's such a bummer, but her father, her real father, who didn't raise her, his mother worked in Georgia, and her boss would cut sometime. And one time she ended up pregnant with this red hair. You know how everybody black got that freckle face, high yellow cousin with the red hair, the blondish hair? That's what my mother's father ended up being. And it was bad because his mom was already pissed she had to leave Georgia with this white, because you can't walk around Georgia with no white baby and it came out of you. People want to know what's up, who baby that is, blah, blah, blah. She had to move Philly, which she hated. She hated her son, which was my grandfather, hated him his whole life. Yeah, because he represented everything wrong in her life. You know what I mean? You're the reason why I'm not in Georgia. You're the reason why I don't have a husband. I got this kid with no man. It's just a terrible story. I never really break it down and where does your life perfection come from, but that guy grew up to be a kind of lightweight gangster, and he had a side who was like 15. He had like two kids with her, and that's my grandmother. That's how we came. So I'm the product of a side relationship. Like I've met cousins, and it's like their grandma was the wife, so they know each other and all that. We the side family, so we hit. Right. You know what I mean? So just all
your
that.
Family was a hidden family.
Yeah, we were a secret. Like even at school, they didn't acknowledge us or talk about us.
So you do have white in you. You are.
I do technically have white in me. My grandfather is half white. If you really break it down, that's really. I feel like I just dropped a bomb. Don't call me white girl's grandfather who's half white. I don't consider myself mixed. You know what I mean? And this where the name really comes from. Not to fast forward, but you know we're gonna get into it anyway. I come from a time, because me and you ain't far in age. I come from a time where people are so obsessed with Marilyn Monroe. Like you go to his houses, they 34, 25. It's a big picture of Marilyn Monroe with a Marilyn Monroe rug and all.
They don't even know why they like it.
That's the thing, and it's like when you get into it, Marilyn Monroe was a husband and pill popping with the mob branching that.
Telling secrets, telling all types of secrets and government.
Running her mouth.
And she laying with presidents and like that.
Running her mouth, not even holding it down necessarily. She was running her mouth. Some say that's how she died, but she didn't get it all late. But it used to bother me. It was like you go on social media, the girl had the blackest name in America, Shaquita, but her last name would be Kardashian, Shaquita Kardashian. It's like everybody was chasing these images of like white girls, and I couldn't understand it. It's like, unless you're blind, deaf, or a tard, you don't notice that black people run the culture. We set the tone for every mother thing. The number one plastic surgery in this country for the last 10 years has been hips and ass. Who comes out with hips and ass? Black people. We set the tone for plastic surgery, fashion, clothes, everything. We set the tone for everything. Look what happened to Depp and Dan and Gucci. You know what I'm saying? Look what happened to Depp and Dan in 1991, whenever they shut them down. So it's like, for me, don't call me no white girl, baby, because I'm black, and I'm super stoked to be black. Like, I actually feel lucky to be a black woman, and you're not going to project that on me, that whole, oh, you bitch, you got your family, I like your hair. You know what I mean? I'm black. My hair naps up when it's wet. You know, my lips are big. And I'm happy to be black. Don't call me no white girl. It's not even hate for the white girls. It's just don't call me no white girl. Not to mention they look horrible in the first lady. Karens. Who wants to be a Karen or affiliated with a Karen? I mean, no, and it's, listen, to the viewers, first of all, thanks for welcoming me in the Shark Tank. I'm glad to be here. And I know some of you surely heads that a mixer won't be offended. It's nothing against you. But it's like, I know me, and you ain't pushing that mix on me because I'm not the mix. That's just not what it is. Fuck, people hurting me down. You just think you black because you got black kids. You just think you black because you listen to the right. Like, people don't even believe it when I say I'm black. They think that I'm like a whole people guy. You know what I mean? Catch me outside, how about that? Like that vibe.
I'm going to tell you this, and it's a gift. I'll tell you what your gift is. A true trick of light. And what that is you can be anything you want to be. You can change your hairstyle and probably not look like the same chick yesterday.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like some chicks, like you notice how like no matter what they do, they still got this core look to them.
Like a Wednesday.
That you can just, you just recognize no matter what the fuck. You can put a fucking wig on a pig, like it still look the same. You know what I mean? That type of ordeal.
Right.
But you change your hair like this and look like a lawyer from Wall Street. You change your hair like this, look like a cowgirl from Texas.
Go to court with a briefcase with nothing in it.
You change your exact man.
Stop playing with me.
Yo, shit.
Go to court with a bun and a briefcase with nothing in it. Your Honor, that is not true. That was not me. It don't work. But I still went in there with the. You know what I'm saying? I still went in there with some. And I'm telling you, first time on my podcast, one of the first episodes, I know y'all remember, it was like episode 3. I say, because it went viral, I say, Joe ain't that bad, shit. You know, they give you free food, you ain't got no fucking bill to eat. Now, it went viral, but the point was, you can survive anything. You know how many square people in my feeling that got themselves in trouble fighting gun cases. And you know you get licensed to carry, but you black, so you gotta follow every rule to the T. If you don't, they get gun possession. Just wrote me, emailed me, and was like, yo, I want you to know you're the only reason why I smiled through this court case. And you're the reason why I fought you charging and not beat my case. Like, I be thinking I'm just talking about shit, but these motherfuckers was writing it down. So when I say like gelling, it's because if you might have to do 6 months of jail, year in jail for not running your mouth, or you've been a part of something that you know you was bringing in money in, but you not running your mouth for stay 10 motherfuckers not going through jail, let me let you know it ain't that bad and you'll survive and stand up, stand tall on it. Because we had an alarming rate with the telling. It's like, it's just blatantly over. You could tell drop an album in his high. And that's just that. You could do it 2 weeks ago if you wanted to. Dropped it on a Friday.
Hey, I get tired of people, with the, even with time, doing time, like, you gotta understand, like you said, if you did some shit, you get caught, man, a year, man, goes down if you ain't gotta tell them what it is. You get 25 years. That's what you playing.
Pay the piper, baby.
If you gonna play, man, you gonna have to pay sometimes. And sometimes, hey, man, you might feel like it's out of your realm, but now I'm gonna give you something, all is over. Let me go jail. I ain't with
I want to know
that
your
shit.
opinion. This is what I've been thinking. I've been rolling this body here. If you've been in the street since you jumped off the porch, and let's say you jumped off the porch average since about high school, junior high, right? If you 30 and you have never been to jail, like you spent the night for a real case, right? You got to hit home. It's no way. I'm not talking about the nigga that get a job because he fucking flip up all the time. I'm not talking about the nigga that in and out. I'm talking about the nigga that lives and breathes and survives all street money. Take care of his kids, his bitch, all street money. If you make it to 30 after being out here 15 plus, you told. You might wear a wire right now. Ain't no motherfucking way. It's impossible.
Looking good though. It's looking Ray Liotta, even though he played a, so he played a part Henry on there. He told.
Of course he did.
At the very end, told on all of them.
Of course he did.
Look at American Gangster. Frank Lucas told on everybody.
Frank told twice.
Told on everybody. Like, if you look at, like, the movies are dope, but they get watched. It's fucked up because they'll get watched, and the main parts, the main fucking body of the movie gets overlooked. That he was a fucking snitch. White boy Rick, a fucking snitch.
A fucking rat.
All of them.
A fucking
But these
rat.
people have been glorified as, some top dogs in the old
Especially
USA.
Frank. Especially Frank. People act like they don't forgot. And think about Frank. Frank is a great story.
They can drop a fucking backlog to that one and do a fucking American Gangster 2
They can.
with him, and it'll still sell.
And tell the
And
real-
everybody know he's a snitch already, and it's still gonna get watched.
But listen, Frank's story is good because I believe this too, and you tell me if I'm wrong. Every nigga that read it in my early 20s, like especially on them big indictments and shit, it seemed like by the time everybody home for their indictments, everybody did their 10 years and all that, that one rat always ends up getting sat down at the end. So he 40 plus, you locked up a little powder on him, they hit him hard for it. You feel me?
Yeah.
He 40 plus, it is second little domestic violence, they send him up the road for 7-8 years. Once them police done using you, they get your motherfucking ass. Unless you tell and really never commit another crime, you're going to fuck the jail. You just holding it off. The people use you up.
Let's look
Fuck
at it
you
like
a
this.
boogie.
How is that a life worth fucking living? That's a life not even worth to know that I gotta live in a WITSEC program for the rest of whatever and fucking
What that's witness protection?
work in somebody's warehouse, nigga, fucking selling used tires or fucking making tires or some fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? That's not a life worth a damn, homie.
Not for my
That shit ain't nothing, man. Like I always say this, right? Let's keep it real, man. If a motherfucker, if you gotta even worry about whether you would tell or not, maybe you shouldn't be doing that. That way, you ain't gotta worry about telling. See, but everybody always see the bread, and they want the money. Like, oh, well, I want to live like that.
Yeah.
You don't know what came with even half a
You
nigga
don't get
jewels
it.
or cars or clothes. You don't know what came with. You don't know this nigga probably just got shot at last night 8 times.
The fucking paranoia alone. You start getting money for real, you can't even fucking sleep. I used to ride when I was really outside. I would ride around with my gun right on my leg. I would sleep with that bitch on my chest sometimes under my pillow. I lived in a small town. I was one of the only girls getting money out there. You know, it's like an out of town thing. Everybody go out the county to get the money. That's how I got indicted. And I'm the only one out there. And I had to be my security and my accountant and my marketing. You know, I would be tired at the end of the night, but I was low key scared to death. So to wear that armor, because I'm a woman in a man's game, no matter what. You know, as females, a lot of trappers, we out here, you know, because that's back in the day. I haven't broke a law in over 15 years. Way past the statute of limitations, but way back. When I was out here and the other females that be out here, it's like, we fight in a losing game almost because certain men just never respect you. Every business deal, everything you do, she a bitch though, you know, and it's so crazy because I feel like we're expected to kind of tell them shit. And I know so many more men that told than women. I know a lot of women
That's why they always
that
try to bring the chick in. I remember being young, having bread, I would never wear my jewelry home. I'd wait till I get up the block to put it on. I never put when I was coming back, because I knew I stayed in a fucked up place, and nigga, I'm getting racks.
Right.
So I'm like, nigga, I would never wear my jewelry home, and I would never wear it out the house, and I would never take the same route home. I never take the same route home.
Yeah.
I don't know, my people taught me that. You know
I was
what I'm
forced to
saying?
circle the block 3 times, so it would end
My
up
people
turning
taught me don't
into
even shop in your neighborhood.
What, as far as groceries?
Groceries, gas stations, nothing.
Yeah.
For real, that's real game, homie.
Yeah.
Like, it's extra work. People don't think about it, but if you're really playing that way, that's the way you're really supposed to be moving.
Yo, you have a
I
neighbor.
stay in my rear view, nigga. And you know what's so cold? I never drive with my windows down and my music up. Ever.
What?
They ain't get robbed like that.
Yeah,
Bring
not
attention
paying
to yourself.
attention, yeah.
Hanging diamonds and shit out the windows. And fucking sitting there flat. Like, I don't do that.
Yeah.
That's how you get robbed.
Yeah.
Because I got robbed like that, nigga, probably about 16, 17 years ago.
Well,
Thought it was cool. Me and my partner, we was sliding up and down the strip. He had just popped a new Beamer. They had a bunch of jewelry on, homie. These niggas followed us off the strip. We pull up to go grab something to eat. They follow us off the strip. Niggas get out the car, put the banger in my face. Like, yeah, give it up.
Yeah.
I mean, what am I gonna do? Shit, nigga, here, fuck it.
Ain't nobody shot though, right? Well, that worked out.
No, it worked out, but that's why I don't ride with windows down and music blasting. It's either my windows is up, music is up, or if I got the window cracked, I don't never ride like that. I don't like nobody knowing. I don't know. When you come from certain things, like you said, especially having certain money, even if it's $5,000, $10,000, if you're living in a low-income area, I've even said it before.
That's a lottery.
Yeah, that's a lot of motherfucking money to some people. Not to mention, I've said it before, man, that the average, I talked to Rory Douglas. He even said it, and I was like, damn, I did the research and I saw it. That the average American household can't handle a $400 emergency. Why the fuck you ain't gonna want to lick me, nigga? You see me with 5-10 bands on.
Niggas living check for check, and this the thing.
Kill you for that.
You
nigga.
have a neighbor that has nothing to do, that does nothing all day long. That fucking neighbor is paying attention that you come home around 3 a.m. every morning, that you leave out 5 p.m. every morning. I mean, not for nothing, you get the cat burglar nigga that'll climb in your motherfucking window to take whatever he can take.
No, my mama.
Besides the cat burglar, you got another nigga that, because my father, that was his lane. You know what I mean? My dad did 10 years. My father was like 4 to 14, and that's what he did. But I remember him getting out and driving me down the block where I robbed every store on this strip. That was his thing, you know what I mean? And we're coming from a take money background, like, they will lay on you. Like, I know niggas that will get a little RV, park that bitch, and sleep there for a week to really pay attention to your measures. And real, I know this sounds fucked up to most people, but a real nigga, take money nigga, he doesn't say, give me your shit. He opens it up with smacking you with the pistol so you know, I'm not fucking playing with y'all. Walk in the house, shoot the first nigga in the leg. Hey, everybody get the fuck down, because now people paying attention to it, so we know you're not playing. Some niggas, they leave with the stuff that everybody did. That's the whole, because these people can't say what they drove or what they came in. So that's how I think.
Listen, I'm not condoning better wording. I'm not condoning robberies. Like, are people that are robbers. I don't like thieves. People that steal. What happened to really, you know what I'm saying? But if you don't, no, because I look at it like this. Anything you gonna do, I have to say that.
I know. I used to steal
there's children that watch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not condoning that. That shit ain't cool. It ain't a wise thing to do. You shouldn't have to do it because there's people doing it that don't even gotta rob.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're putting themselves in fucked up ways. I can understand, nigga, you down, your stomach touching your back, and you've tried every other motherfucking resource and every other option you can possibly try. Your baby needs some Pampers, nigga. Your baby needs some milk.
Yeah.
Or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? You need some food.
Yeah.
If you're gonna rob, I would think, like, I guess it's the instant gratification thing. People hear somebody got something, they just go try to see what it is, don't even know what it is.
Right.
Why don't you try to hit some millions?
Yeah.
Like, because you know what that takes? Time and plotting.
And brain.
You gotta really sit back and take your time on that.
Yeah.
You might not hit that for 3-4 months.
Right. It take you a minute to learn.
It take you 6 months to learn the whole layout. It take you time to learn all this shit about what's really going on to execute this shit properly, allegedly.
Because I want the fucking money. I never understood that. You hit the nigga the wrong day, he didn't spend everything. All he got is product. Now you got something you got to move around, and you moving around might make him find you. Because the nigga that finds you ain't gonna be nice about it. You know what I mean? It's not like the nigga that finds you, give me my shit back, bro. No, the nigga that finds you is probably gonna blow your fucking head off. So the whole point is, to get away with it.
But you gonna hit something.
Hit something.
Nigga.
Something.
Don't
real.
fucking be. There's so many people that have gone to jail for the rest of their life because they robbed this lady for a Rolex and come to find out it was a fake one. But he's still about to get the same charge.
You're a Wallow story. You sat down with
easy, so it's there, and you don't even know. You
know Wallow's story, right? You sat down with Wallow, right? Wallow did that dub for robbery. He didn't get shit. It wasn't, you know what I mean? And then it's like another thing for them kids. It turned backwards. You can't, when you black, you can't even be the nigga that get your homie to ride and rob the nigga. If he gonna settle and rob the nigga and shoot one of the convenience store owners, you just robbed them and shot. You ain't have to.
Legs, nigga, some fresh shoes, a nice t-shirt, and a rental for you.
These niggas so jealous, they go to a nigga out and get all the clothes. Because they want to be there. They want to wear his skin. They put it on.
That's the stole your clothes. That bitch will never wear them shits around you, nigga. You gonna have to catch her on an oddball day. Catch her at Walmart or somewhere, at Target. And the bitch got your shirt on. And you know damn well she ain't have one of them.
Can't even afford that shirt.
Can't even afford the motherfucking shirt. But man, I can't stand people like that. Rob you and help you look.
You said you ain't like these. I said yikes because for years I was a booster. I boosted for years, but they're
That's
not
different. I used to buy shit from y'all.
Yeah, that was you, but my number one customer.
Call me, be like, man, I'll be like, I'll call you.
Read it from down the street, see the kids pick and tell you all the kids
because
died.
you know what? I know it's fucked up, but I'd rather spend money with her than people in the slums. I don't know. I'm just like that. Maybe it's because I was raised like that. Yeah. I was buying shit out of Rico truck coming up, so I know.
Shout out to Rico.
Yeah, shout out to him wherever he was.